getting closer to pushing me off a life's little edge.
G'day guys, Chaos Chronicles. Alright, so we're going to try and do this in landscape mode today, and we'll try and see how it goes. I just got to realise that I've got to look there. Alright, so anyway, today we're going to talk about buck 50s and what is a buck 50, why do people get buck 50s, and why you do not want to get a buck 50. So like, basically a buck 50 is like a box cutter, right? So like, it's in Australia we call it a box cutter. In America I think they just call it a razor. So like, you know, people make them. The most common one is like, so every single person is capable of making one of these like the moment they get there, because when you get to most jails, if you don't have toiletries and stuff like that, they're going to give you what's called a wet pack, right? And that wet pack is consisting of a couple of razors, a toothbrush, a bar of soap, and yeah, I think that's about it actually. And so anyway, it's quite simple. I showed you guys in the other video actually, you know, part by part how to make one of those Aussie box cutters. So anyway, that is a buck 50. Now, you try and trace back to where that name come from. I have no idea. Like, I've heard so many different things, like, and the most honest one I heard was because that's how much the razors cost at Barwon, right? And you know, it actually was true. The razors at Barwon, like the pencil sharpeners, because they're the better ones that you want because they're hard, and the better ones. But yeah, you know, they're the ones that people go for, and they were $1.50. So I think that's why they call it a buck 50. I'm not sure, because they call it a buck 50 in America too. So who knows? That's probably where it came from, and yeah, who knows? But yeah. So why would you get a buck 50? So and so anyway, the razor's called a buck 50, but if you're getting buck fitted, right? That's what it's called. You're getting a buck fitty. You're getting it straight down the side of your face, straight across the side of your face, straight across both sides of your face, or whatever. So that is a buck fitty, when you are copping it all the way down your face from one end to the other. That is a buck fitty, right? So you definitely don't want a buck fitty. I've showed you what the people do. They put two razors side by side like that are about that far apart. So when they whop you across your face, they have to leave it. They can't stitch it because they've got two lines there and you can't stitch from the middle. Anyway, that's why they do it, because you literally cannot stitch it. And I'll tell you one story actually about probably one of the best buck fitties I ever seen. And so the funny thing was, so I was actually at Port Phillip, which is, you know, one of the maximum security jails here in Victoria. So I was at Port Phillip with this guy, right? And so like, my mate actually gave it to this guy. So it was a butte pill. So before they made them all strips, they used to have butte pills, and they were like, just like, you know, like a Panadol pill, but they were in the shape of like a stop sign. They were like a 50 cent, you know. And so anyway, I literally seen my mate hand it to him. Now this guy went on the bus on the Tuesday, right? And so Tuesdays and Thursdays are the Barwon escort. So he went on the bus on Tuesday, and sorry, I'm just moving. Anyway, he went on the bus on Tuesday, and so I was on the bus on Thursday to Barwon, right? So even before I left, like, I'd heard that this guy had been scraping the edges off, you know, and making it look like it's still legit, but, you know, unless you compared it to another one, like I've seen people do it, scrape down the edges, and then give them, you know, people will say, oh, you're going to this jail, bro? Yeah, bro. Here, pass this to old mate. Yeah, no worries. Scrapey. That's my parcel feed. Boom, pass it on, you know? And so, like, a lot of people do it. And so, anyway, I've seen people, like, make them look still legit, you know? And so, like, anyway, I'd heard that that's what this guy was doing before he had even got to the other jail, right? And so, anyway, he was on the bus on Tuesday, I was on the bus on Thursday. Lo and behold, here's this guy here, right? And so, anyway, they're asking him, where is it? Do you know what I mean? And like, you know, I witnessed him get given that, you know, so he couldn't say he didn't, but he was saying that he couldn't. He said that he swallowed it because he was on the escort and he couldn't bring it back up, right? So, you know, it was making people angry. They wanted their stuff now, but like, everyone knows that sometimes you might have to wait half a week to get your stuff if someone swallowed it, you know what I mean? If they've put it up their bloody, their prison bank, the bottom end, you know what I mean? They can get it straight out usually, you know. But when they swallow it, sometimes it can take 3, 4, 5 days. I've seen one take a month before, and that guy nearly lost his life for that. But anyway, that's another story. But anyway, yeah, you know, this guy's biding his time, and obviously, like, I'd heard these rumours, right? But like, I'm no snitch, so I'm not gonna say anything. Like, if I had seen him doing it, 100%, I would have pulled him up on it, of course. And then I would have, you know, done what I got to do. But anyway, so the day had come where this guy had got this thing out, right? And straight away these people were like, bro, this dude's ripped us, you know what I mean? And, you know, I kept my mouth shut and I didn't say anything, but like, they figured out that he had been ripping them anyway. And so they just let it know. They just made him think that it was all sweet, and then they didn't even know. Do you know what I mean? And then I remember I was walking out of the unit while this guy was walking, like he was walking past the front of my unit like this to go like over here to talk to someone at my unit, right? And so anyway, just as I've walked out, I seen this guy just go whop straight down his face twice, give him 2 big fresh ones across his face. Now this guy, I think he thought that he like got punched first, because he like went to turn around and start, and then when he realised how much claret was coming out of his face, he about face and ran. I'm telling you, he ran, and like, he didn't know what to do. Like, you could see it in his eyes. He just wanted to run to the screws, but there was nothing he could do. Like, this guy, like, and in jail, you either wear a white or a green t-shirt. And so, like, you know, not many people like wearing the greens. They like wearing whites that you can now buy from most jails. So people wear white. So if you're going to get your claret all over that, then bang. That's going to be a big red flag, no pun intended, when you're walking into that unit or running into the unit like he was. He couldn't hide it, do you know what I mean? Obviously, you know, he got stopped, and mate, that guy's face, like, I ended up seeing that guy probably 2 years later, and that guy's face was so demented from that. So it was like they had to pull his face together, because he had 2 straight down there, so he really had 4. Bang, like a fork straight down his face, and that muffed his face up really, really bad. And so, you know, you do not want to cop $1.50, but the other main reason why people get $1.50, they call it a dog scar, right? So as you guys know, in America, like, they call people dog, and that, like, it's a friend, like they're their mates, do you know what I mean? But here in Australia, it is definitely not like that. And if you call someone a dog, they are fighting words, you know? So, you know, we call rats dogs over here. We call them rats too, but it's called a dog scar, right? And so, like, yeah, straight up, if it is known that there is a dog on the yard, a pedo, a Scotch tapist, you know, a sour grapist, you know, you might, it kind of says it at the end of that word, you know, but like, them people are getting $1.50 and they're getting carried out of that yard 9 times out of 10. The sad thing is, these days, it's really like, I started noticing a lot of people letting things slide. So like, someone would say, oh yeah, there's paperwork on this guy here, but like, So you can say there's paperwork on someone, that's all good and well, but you want to be producing paperwork on that person if you are saying that there's paperwork on that person, you know what I mean? Because like, if you say that there's paperwork on me, and there ain't no paperwork getting produced, so straight away it's stabby, you know, and that's as simple as that. If you get put on a dog or a rat in jail and you don't defend your honour, you will get seen as a dog or a rat. But like, yeah, dogs and rats, mate, boom, you're getting dog scarred, and then boom, you are getting carted out of there for sure. But yeah, that's what a buck fitty is, guys. And so like, I'd had a couple of people ask, I thought I'm going to make a video on that actually. And yeah, it's funny, I used to have a book with all the list of things that I wanted to talk about, but like, it's like gone AWOL. I think when I had all this BS going on with the cops, I think they fucking took it, you know. But yeah, yeah, good. I thought that's going to make a good video. But yeah, plenty more videos to come, guys. But like, listen, like I always say, guys, if you don't want to have yourself in a position to be getting buck fitted, and let me tell you, there ain't no coming back from getting a fresh one across your, you know what I mean? You ain't coming back from getting one across your face. You are going to be seen as a dog. And that's as simple as that. And yeah, that guy that got whopped across his face for taking that guy's drugs, that's seen as a dog act. Do you know what I mean? So, yeah, obviously he charged a little bit too much on his escort fee to pass it from jail to jail. But anyway, if you don't want to go through none of this bullshit, guys, don't get into this life, because 100%, you know, if you are involved in that life, drugs, you know, crime, this and that, there ain't no way you aren't going to end up in jail at some time. And if you do not, you are a dog, and that's as simple as that. And then you will get a dog scar when you go to prison eventually. So if you don't want none of that smoke, don't do none of this shit, guys. Like, you know what I say? Just put down the bag and pick your kids up. That's my new motto, you know. Put down the bag and pick your kids up. So yeah, just think about that next time you're going to do something, going to, you know, do some crime, pick up the bag, do some drugs or whatever, man. Just think of your kids, mate. It's a lot harder on your kids when you are in jail than it is on you. Do you know what I mean? Well, a lot of people do it hard in jail, but it's very hard on your family. You know, they're doing a sentence as well, and you don't want to you don't want to put your children through that. Do you know what I mean? Unfortunately, my son that I live with now, you know, his in one sentence, I spent 2/3 of his life in prison. Do you know what I mean? And so, and I have, you know, 2 other boys and a girl as well, and so, you know, yeah, I 100% live up to my motto, and you know, I ain't doing crime because I'm thinking about them, you know, and it's easy to do, guys. And you know, I've said that, you know, I've shown that you can get away from crime, and the kind of life of crime I was in, like bike clubs and this, that, and you know what I mean? It can be done, guys. So yeah, if you don't want none of this smoke, if you don't want none of that bullshit getting whopped across your face with a $1.50, do not do crime. And if you are one of those people who's doing crime and you ain't going to jail or you ain't getting caught by the police, you're a suspect, and you probably will get one of them anyway. So anyway, don't do crime, you won't get a $1.50. It's as simple as that. Alright guys, I've been the Chaos Chronicles. You guys have been absolutely awesome, and I will see you guys in the next vid. Ciao.